Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. I apologize, I have the flu terribly, as do most of my children. Um, so I'm hiding in a little corner of my house. Thanks for watching. Have you ever tried to get the really perfect picture, maybe the perfect selfie, one that looks like you but not really? Maybe it has a different background or a few filters on, something that's really going to draw attention when you post it on Facebook or maybe TikTok, anywhere on social media. Imagine dying for that. Imagine dying because you're worried about how many likes a video will get you. Imagine dying because you followed a trend and you wanted to be just as popular as everyone else that was doing the trend. Imagine dying because you unfollowed or unfriended someone. Social media is definitely not what it used to be. I can remember, my oldest is 23 years old, and I remember when MySpace came out. I remember wanting to have the same background as everyone else, or maybe seeing someone with a cool song posted, so I borrowed their song. I wanted to be like, everyone else. I wanted as many friends. And today I've really seen the toll that it's taken both on myself and my children and other people, especially working in a school building. I'll start by talking to you about what I think is the biggest problem right now is kids needing a cell phone at a very early age. I use the word need loosely because I do believe that parents have control over everything, but kids are very sneaky, and no matter how many settings you have on that iPhone or iPad, they're going to find a way around it. So how can we help this problem? First of all, cell phones have become kind of a need for parents. With this economy, parents are working more hours, they're working longer hours, some are working multiple jobs, and kids are having to be left alone. Maybe they're not 100% ready, and the only way the parent is going to feel safe is if the child has their own cell phone. School practices. My son in cross country, their coach never had an ending time. So sometimes you'd sit there for an hour and a half. And when you have other children or other responsibilities or work commitments, you can't sit there for hours to waste time. So having your child have a cell phone is very beneficial in that aspect. They can call you when they're finished. Safety also, you have kids walking to the park or going to hang out with their friends, and especially with social media and location being sent and sex trafficking, it makes me feel safer as a parent knowing that my child can get a hold of me whenever they need to, especially with having that location setting. I know if they're kidnapped or something happens to them, I can follow them and get to them way faster. Kids are also pressured to have them way faster. The likes and the follows on social media, the likes and follows on social media, the attention that they're getting, maybe they're not getting that in school, so they feel the need to do that online. Or maybe they're being pressured by their friends and kids at school to have a cell phone. The world has changed so drastically. Let's talk about why it's a problem for kids to have access to social media or to even have a cell phone at that age. The definition of addiction, according to Webster's dictionary, is a compulsive, chronic, psychological, or physiological need for a habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity having harmful physical, psychological, or social effects and typically causing well-defined symptoms such as anxiety, irritability, tremors, nausea, upon withdrawal of the substance, the state of being addicted. Now, for some of you, you may think that's a stretch. This isn't drugs, this isn't alcohol, but I think at times it's worse. Social media, much like any other addiction, is way more common than you think. How many of you have made the viral pasta? I know that I have. The pasta, the tomatoes, the feta cheese, the olive oil. If you haven't made it yourself, I can guarantee at least 50% of you have heard of it, have tried it, if you haven't made it yourself. The NeuroLaunch editorial team talks about the social comparison theory. We as people are born to copy others. We learn by copying others, walking, eating, talking, all of it. We watch others enjoy something and we want to feel that. We see someone take a bite of something, it looks delicious, and they smile, and we want to have that same smile. We want to feel what they are feeling. Imagine watching somebody in the warm sunshine in a video and it just looks amazing. They're laying on a picnic blanket and they're reading a book and they look so peaceful, so relaxed. We want that same feeling. Let's take a deeper look at addiction. Low self-esteem, comparing yourself to others, increased isolation and loneliness, FOMO, anxiety or depression, social anxiety or embarrassment, exposure to negative people, trolls and bullies, disruptive sleep patterns due to blue light exposure, decreased physical activity, poor academic performance, depressive symptoms, ignoring relationships in your real life, reduced ability to empathize with others, exposure to fake news or misinformation, and withdrawal symptoms. All of those can happen with social media. Addiction is measured from mild to severe. Those who meet 2 or fewer criteria would be classified as mild, which would not be considered addiction. Anyone that has 6 or more of the criteria, that is considered an addiction. It's actually classified as having a substance abuse disorder. What are the signs? Using more social media than intended, experiencing cravings or urges to check your social media status, problems or conflicts in relationships because of social media use, neglecting real life relationships, impacting your ability to function at work or complete tasks, cutting back on things that you enjoy in the real world due to social media use. Using in situations that are risky while driving or at work, reduced real-world social interaction, needing more times, likes, follows, experiencing physical or emotional discomfort when you cut back, and trying unsuccessfully to cut back. How can we stop this? How can we help this addiction, and how can we keep this away from our children? Number one, as adults, we lead by example. If we're constantly checking our phones, if when our children are talking to us, we are not setting that phone down and we are not paying attention to them, they learn by watching us. Secondly, I do believe that there are systems that can be put into place that are much harder, where you can't just type a few things in and sign up for OnlyFans, where you can't just log in and be a different person and fake your birth date. We have these systems in place for so many other things, for court documents, for banks, for so many other systems. There has to be something that we can do to protect our children from social media.